So as a first line manager, now you're managing other people and they come into your office. If you're an individual contributor, when somebody comes into your office, that's actually a distraction. They're distracting you from doing your job because your job is to produce whatever you're producing. It can be viewed in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're managing other people and one of them comes into your office, that's not a distraction from your job. That is your job.
Yep.
So now you have to say, this is not a distraction. This is an opportunity. So that's a little bit of a different mindset. Maybe others can just do it naturally, but I had to constantly train myself that that was the case. And when somebody does come to you with a problem like that, my gut instinct is to just solve the problem, to say, okay, well, the right way to do it is this way. So do it this way. But that's not really what a lot of leadership is about. That's just a very narrow view of leadership, is to tell people how to do things.
Yep.
It's to give them what they need so that they can kind of figure it out themselves.
Yep.
So you want to hear their ideas. So what you need to do is not tell them how to do it. You need to ask them, well, what approaches have you considered? And if they say, well, I've considered it this way, but what I really think is best is this other way. And as a manager of others, when they say, this is the way I want to kind of approach this, the mistake is to try to match it to what you think the best solution is. And if they came up with the best solution that you would have come up with, you say, yep, that's right, go ahead and do it. As a leader, what you want to do is you want to hear their solution. You want to ask yourself the question, is this going to turn into a disaster?
Yeah.
That as a representative of the shareholders, I need to stop.
Yeah.
If you're thinking to yourself, well, this isn't the way I would approach it. I don't think this is the best way at all, but it's not going to hurt too much, and they're going to learn something on the way. What you should tell your direct report is, yep, that sounds good. Do it, and let's meet next week and tell me how it goes.
Yeah.
That's good leadership.
Yeah.
But that's just a different way of doing it, and I just have to constantly retrain myself depending on the level that I'm at.
Funny when you said there about people coming into your office and it being a distraction. I can remember, even when I was a manager and I had direct reports, still feeling like that because I would have something I was supposed to produce. I can remember one occasion in particular. It was a Thursday afternoon, and I needed to produce this thing. It had to be delivered the next day. It had to be delivered by noon the next day. And I had set aside Thursday afternoon to finish it. I was sat getting through it. And it was one of those tasks that, I needed to do it, didn't really enjoy it, but I'd got everything organised and I was going to slog through it. And then someone came in and I ended up sitting and speaking with that person for 3 hours. So the afternoon went.
3 hours?
3 hours. So my afternoon was gone and I ended up having to do this thing the next morning. And I remember at the end of the day having this feeling of not having done my work because I'd allocated this time to finish off this particular input to this leadership team. And I had to come in earlier on the Friday to get it done and knock it out and so forth. But I sort of did have this feeling of, that was unexpected. It came out of the blue and it set me back. But as I left my office to go to lunch on the Friday, the person that I had spent 3 hours with was coming in the other direction. And he said to me, "Oh, thanks for yesterday afternoon. It's really made a difference. It really helped me." And I thought, wow, I did do my job yesterday. And I must have done it well. And so it wasn't that I hadn't done my work. I just ended up doing some different work and quite probably some more valuable work than the numbers I was putting together for this leadership team thing.
Do you remember the presentation that you were putting together? Do you remember what it was about?
Nope. Haven't a clue. Can't tell you. I knew it was gathering together data because I always hated doing that. And it was to feed into some greater spreadsheet for the department as a whole.
Okay.
But what it was, I can't remember.
Do you remember what the conversation was about?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. It was about a situation that this person had in their team and they were struggling with and didn't know how to approach it. Oh, yeah.
It sounds to me like you made the right choice.